The Bank of Canada has decided to stand pat on a rate hike to start off 2024. And while some experts believe rates may start to come down this year, the central bank isn't ruling out more increases if inflation stays high.
So let's talk more about this morning with Leah Zlatkin, an expert at lowerrates.ca and a licensed mortgage broker. Leah, sorry, I bungled your name there when I said it too quickly. Okay, because I really wanted to get to this conversation. I think everyone who was watching anticipating that the Bank of Canada, Tiff Macklem, was going to hold rates steady. But now the indication is that maybe rates may not drop until perhaps June of this year. If you look at the overnight swaps market, that seems to be where the trend is going. So what does this mean for mortgage, either if you're renewing a mortgage right now or if you're looking at maybe buying a home and need a mortgage now? What's this really going to mean?
So in terms of the current rates right now, most people are still looking at 2- and 3-year fixed rates. For somebody who's very aggressive and does believe that the Bank of Canada may start decreasing the overnight rate Q2, Q3 of this year, and will continue to decrease the overnight rate over the next 2 years till 2025, those people may decide to go variable. Right now, when you're looking at variable spreads, so the discount that you pay off of prime, today's prime rate is 7.2%. Most of the biggest discounts you'll find off of prime are for high ratio purchases. So these are people buying homes under $1 million and putting less than 20% down. Those rates are going to be a discount of 1.1%. in some cases. And then if you're looking at buying something over $1 million, the biggest spread you're really looking at right now is 0.6%, so prime minus 0.6. These rates are not the biggest spreads that you'd ideally like to see. We've seen spreads in the past of 1% on properties over $1 million, but it is still potentially a good time if you do think those rates are coming down.
Yeah, and you know, the language yesterday from Tiff Macklem, just kind of so different than what we've heard. There wasn't kind of like it's definitely going to be increasing again. It was kind of softer, alluding to, hey, we could go in the direction of a rate cut. And we really saw the housing market pick up the end of last year. But they also have to kind of balance it, right? Because they don't want to send everyone into a buying frenzy as well. So what do you predict in terms of how things will look, let's say, you know, next 2 months?
Yeah, the question is not necessarily when are rates going to come down or if rates are going to go up. The question is how long are we going to hold rates where they are? For many consumers, we did see a busier November, December last year. January, the beginning of January picked up a little bit. Now it's slowed down. And that is probably because many people realize that the Bank of Canada might hold. So with a hold pattern, we're likely to see real estate stay very stable, not a lot of transactions happening. Once we hear rumors that the rates might be coming down, then I think we're going to start looking at another buyer frenzy.
And that's the thing, right? Even just a sort of slight hint may sort of turn people right back into the markets here. If someone is looking for a home right now or looking, you know, maybe their mortgage is coming up in the next 6 months, Leah, what's your advice to them in terms of should you be shopping around for a mortgage rate now, or should you potentially wait and see what happens maybe in March or maybe in June? How would you advise clients?
If you're looking at refinancing and you're looking at refinancing in the next 6 months, I certainly would recommend shopping around now. If you work with a good broker, what they'll do is they'll keep a pulse on the market for you and they'll drop your rate as you get closer. If you're looking to purchase something, certainly I would get pre-approved. You want to make sure that you can actually afford what you're going to buy. And if you are looking to make a purchase, like we just talked about, the real estate market is pretty cold right now. It's pretty quiet. And it might be a great time to get in and get that deal before everybody else catches wind that rates are going down and all of a sudden jumps into the market.
Okay, yeah. And very quickly, Leah, in terms of single housing units versus condos versus, you know, cottage or recreational properties, are they all pretty stable right now, or is one hotter than the other? So
generally starter homes, so for young families, those are going to always be popular. We're going to see a lot of volume there. A lot of young Canadians are looking for that first home, so I'd say townhomes and semis are very popular. Larger condos might be popular too. Those properties above 1.8 million and recreational properties, we're seeing a little bit of a slowdown there.
Okay, very good.
Leah Zlatkin, of course, an expert at lowerrates.ca, licensed mortgage broker. Always appreciate your insight, Leah. Thanks for being here again.
Thank you so much for
again,
having me.
Leah.